Welcome back, and we're joined by Asad Dawood, who's the chairman and managing director at Aeroflex Industries, joining us. I mean, the stock has been on a tear over the last year or so. They've hiked, in fact, the capacity for SFN skids. Now, this is a product which is used in the data centers to ensure that the coolant flows through the data center and ensures that the heat is controlled over there. Asad, great having you. It's been a while since we chatted. But first, give us a sense. This ramp up in capacity from 6,000 to 9,000. The target is to get to 21,000 by end of the year. Am I right in the way I'm looking at the increase in capacity?
So, first of all, thank you for having me.
Great having you.
The ramp up of the capacity is planned from earlier. We had planned in January from 2,000 to 15,000, and out of that, we have already completed the ramp up to 9,000, and the remaining would be completed in the next few months. So that's the idea for this financial year. Obviously, once this capacity is commissioned and under production, then we will look at further ramp up in capacity going forward.
6 to 9, you did it in the current quarter, in the sense Q1 FY27. Am I reading the timelines right?
Yeah. So in this quarter, in the last quarter, which is Q1, we ramped up the capacity from 6,000 to 9,000.
And if you had 6,000 at the start of the quarter, you've done 1,050 in terms of sales. The production capacity, my understanding, would be 1,500, just kind of apportioning it, divide by 4, right? You've given annual capacity 6,000, 1,500 should be quarterly. Any reason why you've done 1,050?
So generally in this industry, the capacity utilization ranges between 70 to 80%. So based on that capacity utilization, we have utilized. Also, what happens is, when you get the capacity, commission, it takes a few while to get the entire capacity into production. So there will always be like a month or a month and a half lag. So you'll see the ramp up for the in terms of the production coming in Q2.
And therefore, Asad, how should one look at full year for this product in particular? Because the ramp up of this is going to be very sharp. I'm trying to understand what impact does this mean for units YOY, and so basically volume YOY, and for top line. How much does it contribute to top line for the full year?
So in terms of volume, if we say last year we started the sales of this particular product in the month of December itself, towards the later part of December. So it's basically just one quarter of last year that the capacity was in place, and also at that time the capacity was only up to 2,000 units per year. The ramp up in the capacity has happened in Q4 of last year, and then obviously in Q1 of this year. So we'll see a really significant jump in the volume sales in the current year, and we expect that this year this particular division would contribute at least 20 to 22% of our overall sales for this
Asad,
year.
hi, morning. What kind of order book that you have for this product, and the demand that you're seeing for this?
So in terms of the pipeline that we see, we have a pipeline up to October and November, which is confirmed with us. And then obviously there are a few projects which are in discussion for the subsequent months. So we have a broad pipeline, I would say, till the end of this calendar year. Obviously, as more and more capacities for data centers starts commissioning and starts getting into into construction phase, we'll see more orders coming in, because we are working with our partner who has the highest market share for liquid cooling in the entire world.
And if you can give us a sense of the kind of revenue contribution that we are going to see in FY27 from this product alone by the end of the year, as the order book you are going to supply, what would be the revenue mix change that will happen because of this?
So last year, this product segment contributed about 5% of the overall revenue, although it was just about slightly more than a quarter of contribution in last year. This year, we expect this business to contribute at least, like I said, 20 to 22% of our overall sales. So it will be a significant, jump. And over the next 2 or 3 years, we expect this business to contribute at least upwards of 30 to 35% of our overall sales.
Do you see enough orders coming not just from India but also from overseas market as well?
So for this particular product, we are right now focusing on supplying in India. We have not yet started any supply internationally, but I would say in the future we may look at international expansion for this particular product as well. But right now the focus is in India.
And how is, give us color on competition, Asad? Pricing, competition, is that at all a challenge? How commoditized is this product?
So, technically this product has just been launched in India per se over the last, I would say, less than a year. So it's a very new product in the market in India. Even I would say liquid cooling itself is a concept which is not more than 3 years old, right? Even internationally as well. So we are among the first players in India to manufacture this particular product. Obviously, as the demand for the product increases, and that happens in any industry, there will be a competition coming in. I think when the competition comes in, then we'll have to be more aggressive in terms of our cost optimization, and also look at the pricing. I think right now the focus more is on the supply, and I think over the period of next year or so, I think we'll look at optimization of cost and efficiency.
How are other product lines doing, Asad? Give us a sense of that. And also from SFN skids versus other products, what's the kind of growth clip over the next couple of years that one can expect?
So we are seeing a very strong demand coming in from both the US and the European market for our core products, which is the assemblies, the hose assemblies. We are seeing increase the number of orders coming in, especially from the US, especially after the tariff was eased in the month of February, because the last year a certain portion of our business, or the growth that we were expecting to come in from the US did not materialize to that extent because of the tariff situation last year. But we are seeing a lot of demand coming in from the US, especially after February. And also we are seeing a strong demand coming in from Europe as well. Also, some of our hose assemblies also go into the data center, as part of the cooling systems.
Okay. And how should, just give us your typical revenue growth guidance, and what should margins look like maybe over the next couple of years? What should the growth clip look like? What should the margins look like all the way through FY28?
So the idea is that this year, with all the ramp up in capacity that we have done last year, plus also that we are doing in this year specifically for skid assemblies and also for hose assemblies, I think we'll see a significant bump in both the top line as well as the bottom line for this year, because of the capacities that we have or we have already built, and some of it are in pipeline, will be commissioned in this year. So this year we'll see a significant jump in sales. Over the next 2 to 3 years, the idea is to increase both the top line and the bottom line at a rate which, if you see the average our growth over the past 4 to 5 years, right? We expect to have a much higher growth rate in the future based on all of these business segments and verticals that we have entered into.
Okay, Asad, thank you so much for coming in and speaking to us. Even though a larger conversation, well warranted, because this is just such an evolving space. And Asad, we'll place that request with you, and we'll probably convert that into a conversation maybe over the next week or so. Thanks so much, though, for joining in.
Thank you.